Well, hi. So, in this video, we are going to talk about how to create a real estate media plan. And this is for someone, maybe a project manager who is looking forward to know how should he be planning his marketing for his real estate project, number one. Or number two, this could be for an expert or an agency who has to submit a plan to a client, maybe to a project owner, so that this team can review what would be the right strategy and then how much amount they're going to spend to sell out their properties for any location. Right. Now, this media planning is primarily and only for real estate project because it's going to cover up the real estate funnel as well, so that eventually you can do an exercise and then you can evaluate how many flats or how many plots you would be selling by the end of the month. Right. Now, there are some requirements that you need to know before creating any media plan. And let's start with four P's of marketing. I already had this tab open, so it won't take much time. Now, according to the four P's of marketing, we need to know about the product and then the product price and then place. That means what place our customer would be available so that we can target our ads only to that location. And then the fourth one would be promotional mediums, or what are the promotional channels which we are going to use to make or to run the advertisement. Now let's close up this tab, and so that we can quickly come to the requirements tab. So without knowing the product, of course, we cannot think about making a plan. Without knowing the price, we cannot think what is our right customer. Without knowing the channel, again, we don't know where exactly the ads are going to be placed. Then location, advertisement cost, monthly leads, and then duration is also needed. Now, these are the some requirements that we need to fulfill before making any media plan. So for this one, I have taken example of a couple of companies, not couple, but I have just taken example of one company and one project, and which is available in my tab. Now this is a project, and this project is based in Gurgaon. You can see the project name is the Aravali's Golf Course Extension Gurgaon, and there they are selling flats, and this is the project building, and this comes is at a very expensive cost, by the way, and this cost doesn't seem to be listed in the project, but then the client has shared the cost with me separately. Now this project cost is around 3.0 cr now, which means it's a quite expensive cost. And here the project size or the plot or the flat size is around uh, well, it's 3 bhk flat. And I'm not certain about, because they're having different sizes of 3 bhk, but yeah, it stays somewhere in between 150 to 300 yards. All right. And the price might vary. That means for 150 this could start with 2 cr, and then for 300 yards this could go till 3 cr. So let's keep the price range as 2 cr to 3 cr. All right. Now this product is based, which means this project is based in Gurgaon. However, our target locations are going to be not only Gurgaon, because Gurgaon is kind of extension, or maybe you could see lot many people from Delhi travel to Gurgaon for office and other works. So maybe we not only target our ads to Gurgaon, but we target our ads to Delhi, and also in Delhi the places which are nearby Gurgaon, which means South Delhi and maybe Central Delhi. So you need to have some basic understanding about the location as well. If you're not from Delhi, then maybe it's difficult for you to understand. But people from Delhi or Gurgaon, they can easily understand, or they would already know that East Delhi is quite far from Gurgaon, and South Delhi is quite nearby. Central Delhi is quite nearby. We can also think about keeping West Delhi, considering the fact that West Delhi is also quite nearby. Like places like Dwarka is quite nearby Gurgaon. So, however, we cannot keep places which are very far from Gurgaon. Places like Noida, places like Ghaziabad, maybe we should not be going with those places unless our client agrees us to go with those places. Now I'm just putting West Delhi over here, and then this is something which is completed. Now promotion means what are the platforms in which we are looking to promote our projects. So now Initially, I thought we would be promoting this project to Facebook, Instagram, maybe SMS marketing, maybe Google Ads. But now, considering the fact that the price of the this project is very high, I'm just going with Google Ads and nothing as of now. Even though we can plan for Facebook, we can plan for Instagram, but then I don't even have much time to evaluate this entire planning for Facebook and Instagram. So I'm just keeping Google Ads for now, and maybe I'll just guide you how you can do this planning for Facebook and Instagram as well. Now, so in our product, we know it's a 3 BHK flat. Let's put it over here, 3 BHK flat, and then this is the size. I can Okay, so I can put the size over here only. Let's keep it around 200 yards of size. I'm just keeping the average number over here. Okay, so product price is there, promotion is there, place is there, and I'm just copying this content from this tab. Even though we know that our project is based in Gurgaon, but here we are mentioning that our target locations, that means the target location of ads, are gonna be South Delhi, Central, and West Delhi as well. Now, advertisement cost is something without which you cannot create a media plan, and then only you could have an idea about the monthly leads. Now, as you're talking about the monthly leads, so it's better that we keep the duration of entire plan for a month, which means I'm going to put 1 month over here. Now, maybe you can make it for 2 months and 3 months, and then the actual numbers and the actual leads will get multiplied by 2 or 3. Let's say if you replicate this plan to 2 or 3 months, right? Now, so what happened when you connect with a client? So this is for an agency, and when agency asks client, "What is your marketing budget?" then clients are not quite open about the budget, and that's the point when it gets difficult to estimate the advertisement cost for any agency. At that time, it's completely up to agency if they put in any budget in the plan, but maybe that's quite difficult to think about. So maybe not the exact number, but get some figure from the client if he's okay to spend around 5 to 10 lakh rupees a month, or if he needs to spend around 30-40 lakh rupees a month. If not the budget, then he can get some idea about the monthly leads. Maybe he can talk in a way where client tells you 50 leads a day is quite good for him, so that you can multiply this number to 30, and then eventually you can make this plan accordingly. So we need to get the details of these number for sure, otherwise the plan will not really work for us. Now, if there's a company or there's a manager who is making this plan, then of course they would know the monthly cost or the monthly leads. So I'm just starting with an idea about the advertisement costs. So let's keep it around 40, or let's say 4 lakh rupees a month. All right. Now, let's quickly jump into the Google Planner tab. And here I'm having a sheet where we are going to start with search campaign, followed to which we would want to run our ads in display and remarketing campaign as well. Now I'm going to take this freedom of allotting the budget into search, display, and remarketing by myself. But I will be allotting majority of the budget, which means 75 of the budget is going to be allotted to search campaign. So here I'm going to put a cost of 3 lakh rupees. Then in display, I'll be going with around 70,000. And for remarketing is to show the ads back to people who came on the website or the landing page. It's going to be around 30,000. Now, as I just mentioned, landing page, one most important thing without which we cannot think about running the ads, and which I left to mention in the requirements, is going to be the landing page. Now, landing page could be like, normally I have a practice of using one single landing page for different projects. But then, if you want, you can land the traffic on the home page. But these pages should be having the proper call to action. So let me just try pulling up any of the project landing pages. Now let me check if I have this client's landing page. Well, or I'll take a liberty of taking any real estate landing page for now. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's Google for real estate projects. All right. So, well, I know these companies are going to get charged if I click on any of these ads, but then instead of clicking on these ads, I'm trying to copy this link from here. So at least they don't get charged for it. Right. The link is not correct because I did not copy the complete link. I was trying to, you know, go into, like, I was just trying to copy the link instead of clicking it. So that's why maybe this link is not working. Maybe because it's not a complete link. So I'm going to copy the link of another website. Okay. Now this is like a landing page for a project by the name of World Trade Center, and I don't know why the colors are so fancy and so, I don't know. I mean, this does not look good to my eyes. Anyway, so this is not an example of a good landing page, and I really don't like this landing page, don't like these colors. But the point is, the landing page should be having phone number like this or call to action button like this, where somebody could land and then click on the button from the mobile. And then it's, if possible, try to have a WhatsApp button over here. And then this kind of inquiry form is always needed on the landing page. So this is something which you always need for any project, and I just don't want to share the landing pages of my projects because that we are having a bit confidentiality when it comes to, the projects which are being run by me, by my company. So let's not open that landing page. Maybe we try to see this landing page. You might have been thinking why we are not having a landing page for this project, because for this project it's a very initial phase and the project is not having a landing page live currently. So maybe we can think about having this landing page created through a designer or developer, or maybe client would be sharing the landing page to us. Now that totally depends if client is already having the landing page or he would ask us to get the landing page for this project. Again, this is like a website, and so it's totally up to us whether we land a customer on the website or we have dedicated landing page with the right call to actions. But the bottom line is we need a landing page to run any real estate project, at least for Google. Now the targeting, we know it's Delhi NCR, even though we know we have to exclude some parts of Delhi, but now I'm putting Delhi NCR over here. And okay, now, the first and foremost thing that we need to create this plan is gonna be, I just wanna take off these lines. Okay, is the bidding amount. Without bidding, we cannot think about having any or doing any media planning for any project that you would want to work on. So, in order to get the initial bidding, we need to have idea about some keywords. Now, from the product, which is 3 BHK flat, uh, we can take it as a primary keyword of the project. Now we would have to quickly go into a tool by the name of Keyword Planner, and this tool is quite easily available in any of the Google Ad account. You just have to click on Tools and Settings and go to Keywords Planner, and here you will be able to get a tool. Okay, so I need to choose an account in order to run this tool. So I'm going to choose one of the accounts. Okay, and then clicking on discover new keywords. Okay, so now I have to type in this service, either the service or the primary keywords or the base keywords of the project. For this project, the primary keyword is 3 BHK flats, and then flats in Gurgaon, and then uh, like you can think about some more keywords, but let's keep with these to go with these two keywords. I'm just not entering many keywords because I'll show you how does Google populate the other relevant keywords even if we are just going with one or two keywords in this box. Now in case of location, we should be taking Delhi and Gurgaon instead of going with uh, India as an entire country. So I'm going to choose Delhi and Gurgaon over here. All right. Now this is all. I just click on get results. And here I can see these are the top searches that we get on Google relevant to our base keyword, which was 3 BHK flats or flats in Gurgaon. Starting with 3 BHK, 3 BHK flat, 3 BHK flat in Gurgaon, flat for rent in Gurgaon. Of course, we should not be taking this keyword rent, 3 BHK apartment. And so we can download this list and then we can take an average, or we can use this list while we create the campaign within the Google Ad account. But as of now, we came on this tool for two things. One, to get the idea about the keywords that Google searches, that Google like what searches Google get in Google, number one. And number two, we wanted to look into this thing, which is the bidding. Okay. So now we can see the bidding varies from 25 to 61. And okay, I think this screen is off. So I again have to put in the keyword 3 BHK flats, 3 BHK flats in Gurgaon, and then flats in Gurgaon. Sorry for going back. Okay. Now, again, so you can see this is the bidding amount that varies from 33 as a top page bid and 74 as the top of the page bid in high range. Now, that means if you want to keep our ads at the top of the page, we have to bid with this amount, and anywhere in between or anywhere at the bottom, we have to bid with this amount. Now, we don't get ads like in between as such, but in between, maybe not in one or two rank. In between means we're going to rank our ads to third or fourth position. So you can clearly see it starts with 30 and goes till 74. And I would be keeping the average CPC of 40. The other way of knowing the exact average CPC is downloading this entire report by clicking on this button and then summing up the low range bid, high range bid, and take a median of it. But just to save time, I'm keeping it 40 for now, and so average bid is going to be 40. Now we need to know how many clicks we receive in a month if we spend 3 lakh rupees a month. So the clicks will become total cost divided by the bidding amount. So in total, we are talking about getting 7,500 clicks if we spend 3 lakh rupees in a month, keeping an average CPC of 40 rupees. Now, CTR is how many times, or what is the average ad visibility. Now, in the search ads, we know from experience that we get a normal 10% of click-through rate. So click-through rate is number of time your ad get clicks when somebody searches on Google. So if you get 100 searches on Google, and out of it, if you get 10 clicks, then you have a CTR of 10%. If you get 5 clicks on 100 searches, then you have a CTR of 5%. And for impression, we have this formula. Now the formula says CTR, which is click-through rate, is equal to clicks upon impressions. Okay. So here the impression will become clicks upon CTR. So you're gonna just put in the number and put in the formula clicks upon CTR. So we are talking about having 75,000 impressions on Google search, because this is a Google search campaign. Now, conversion rate is a very important topic, because we are doing all this exercise to drive conversion, which means to drive leads out of this campaign. Right. Now, so CTR was all about how many clicks we get when somebody searches us on Google. Similarly, conversion rate is all about how many leads we get out of traffic coming on the website. So if we talk about this website, let's say if we get 100 people on this website, and out of 100, if 5 people are filling out the inquiry form or calling on this number, giving us a WhatsApp message, then we are talking about getting 5 leads or 5 conversions in a day. The standard conversion for a good landing page stays somewhere in between 5 to 10% in the case of search campaign. So here, let's keep a conversion rate of 5%. Now the leads will be 5% of the traffic that's going to come on the website. So we're talking about 375 leads in a month. Now the cost per lead will become total cost, which is 3 lakh rupees divided by total leads. which means we are talking about generating a lead in 800 rupees. Now, this is something that we were looking for. So here we are talking about generating 375 leads at the cost of 800 rupees for per lead. Now, coming to the display campaign, again, we need to know the average bidding amount for the display campaign. Now, we don't have any tool like a keyword planner tool that we have for a search campaign keyword analysis. Now, for display, I know for the fact that the previous campaigns had given me a bidding of amount somewhere around 2 rupees for a click. So I put this amount 2 as an average bidding, and clicks will become total cost divided by total clicks, and this becomes 35,000. Now you can see the click numbers are very high because the average bidding amount is very, very less. Now, in case of GDN, you also need to know that our ads are not going to be placed on Google search. However, it's going to be placed on Google Display Network, which means either on third party websites, applications, or games. Though we have an option of showing the ads to dedicated websites, to dedicated applications, or to games, or we can choose the people by their interest categories or the topics. So we have so many options available in order to target our ads to display campaign, which was not the case of search campaign, wherein we only showed the ads using keywords to the Google search. Now, in case of display, we know the bidding is very less and the click numbers are very high. However, the conversion is not going to be that good, even though the average ad visibility is not like the CTR is not as good as we have in a search campaign, which means majorly because when people search on Google, then the chances of clicking the ad are very high. But if people are just going through websites like NDTV or maybe Ashtak, maybe OLX, maybe any of the maybe QuickBuzz, any of the Google partner sites, and they're not coming on these sites, not browsing the sites to click the ad. That's why the CTR stays as low as in somewhere in between 1 to 2%. So I'm gonna keep 1% over here, and again the impressions are gonna be clicks divided by CTR. Now this will generate higher impression because the click numbers are gonna be like the CTR is gonna be quite less than the impression or what we get in case of the search campaign. Now the conversion rate is again very poor in case of display campaign because no one was searching for the product on Google. Also, the quality of lead that we will be getting from display campaign is not going to be as good as we get from a search campaign. Now this is somewhere going to be around 0.50%, and I need to put the fractional formula. Okay, now the leads are going to be 0.50% into the total number of clicks, and the cost per click is 400. Now you can see the cost per lead is half than what we get from search campaign. So you might have been thinking, why not we run the ads on display instead of running the ads on the search campaign? Now this is because the leads that we generate from the display campaign, here the quality is not going to be as good as we get from the search campaign. Maybe out of 10 leads you only get 1 or 2 positive leads, maybe 3 positive leads. However, in the case of search campaign, the lead quality or the lead conversion rate is going to be very, very high. That's why sometimes it's going to be difficult for a client to close a lead from these leads coming from the display campaign, and that's why they just don't want to give so many leads to the sales team where the sales team is not able to close the leads. That's why they try to keep either putting a very minimum budget or maybe putting no budget to the campaign. Now this display campaign is good for branding activity sometimes, but then thinking about generating good closures from this campaign is not the right practice. Now remarketing ads shows to the same GDN network, which is Google Display Network. However, through this campaign, we only show the ads to people who already came on the website through a remarketing, through an audience list that we create in the Google ad or maybe analytics account. Now the bidding stays very close to the GDN bidding, which is 3 as an average bid, and the clicks will become total cost divided by the bidding amount. So we're talking about having 10,000 clicks over here. And now, give me 1 second. Okay, so at the same time, I should be putting this formula so that we can add all the numbers. So in total, we are talking about 52,500 clicks, and we are talking about spending 4 lakh rupees. And I'm just copying this number to here. Now CTR for remarketing would be slightly higher than what we get from display because these people had already seen the ad. Now the impressions are going to be this much. The conversion rate could be slightly higher than what we get from conversion, like what we get from display. Let's keep it 1%, and the leads are going to be 100. Or well, 1% is a bit high, so I'm going to keep it somewhere around 0.7. Okay, all right. So we are talking about getting a total leads of 620, and the cost per lead is going to be total cost divided by total leads. All right, so the average cost per lead is going to be 645. The total leads are going to be 620. Now, if you want, you can make an additional plan for daily leads, something like this. A daily plan would be having these numbers divided by 30. The cost also gets divided by 30. The reason I'm making this daily plan is because uh, we put a daily budget on the campaign level. We don't have this option to have a monthly budget on the campaign level. All right. Now the impressions are going to be sum up of all these three numbers, and this is again going to be total impression divided by 30, and leads are going to be total leads divided by 30. And even if I copy this number to here, I'll get the right number because the formula will follow. All right, I'm gonna make this background as green like this and make it bold, and I should be formatting this to a whole number. All right, so here we are talking about generating 22 leads a day. Sorry, okay, generating 22. I'm so sorry. Okay, so here we're talking about generating 21 leads a day, somewhere around 1.35 thousand impressions, and at a cost of 13,333, which will generate a total number of 1,750 clicks in a day. All right. So now maybe you would be wondering, if we generate in total of 620, or yeah, 620 leads a day, what would be the actual closure? So this number will get be deducted through this tab, which is the real estate funnel tab. And we have not talked about Facebook or Instagram, but if you want, additionally, you can have, or you can dedicate 2 lakh rupees of budget to Facebook, or maybe 1 lakh rupees of budget to Instagram, right? But we are not keeping this like planning for now, because the video has already been quite long. So let's quickly jump into real estate funnel. And now this funnel is having again a formula where we talk about what should be the like the actual number of bookings that we are looking at. So leads, that means the total number of leads that we generate. This is 620. Now, so what we see, Google normally drives keeps a quality rate of around 60 to 70%. I'm going with a low number, 60, or the high quality number could be 70%. Now the 60% now here. Okay, so let me calculate it right in front of you guys. Right. So this number would be 60% of into 620, which means we are talking about having 372 qualified leads, out of which we can expect 20% walk-ins from these number of leads. That means 20% of 732. So this will become 20 into 372, and we are talking about getting 25 percent conversions, which means we are talking about closing one person out of four who came on the property, who came to look into the project. So this is 20% into 74.4. So you're talking about closing 18 projects in a month. Now this number could be a bit high. So let's say if you really feel that your project closure rates after somebody comes to walk in is not 25%, if it's lesser, let's say if it's only about 10%, then the numbers will become around 7.4. But at least we should be closing, or the project engineers, maybe the project manager, not the engineer, should be closing at least 1 out of 10 people visiting on the property. He should be at least making these like percent of bookings. Otherwise, maintaining the profit would be very high. Now, if someone wants to calculate returns on profit, or maybe someone wants to calculate revenue, and considering that our project cost was 2 to 3 cr, so let's go with 2 cr, then the actual revenue will be somewhere around 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 multiplied by, let's say, make 7 closings. So this will become 2 cr into 7, which means we are talking about uh, somewhere close to 14 cr revenue. All right, so this means if we spend around 4 lakh rupees on this entire plan, we should be making a revenue of around 14 cr after selling 7 flats in the duration of 1 month. Similarly, because in project we have seen that it's quite difficult to close any real estate property. That means to sell real estate property in a month's time. Maybe you could make a 2 or 3 months plan according to the availability of the project. Sometimes the flats are not available for possession. In that case, the booking and the final closure would definitely gonna take much time. So I guess these sheets and this session will help you to understand how to make a media plan for your project or how to make a media plan for your client. And I will try to add these lists somewhere in the description of the video, so at least you have an option to download these leads.